Frank Klezett's Vyral Marketing. You're going to meet Gregg Tepper. Did I pronounce your last name right, Gregg?
Yes, you do.
My last name's Klezitz. People mess it up all the time. Frank Klezett's, Gregg Tepper.
Yeah.
Was a client with us for some time, went and left, did something else, recently came back as a client in kind of the bottom of 2024, and is now ready to go to 2025 and crush it. Why don't you tell everyone a little bit about your team and your production just to set the stage, and we're going to go through the story of why he's back with us.
Yeah. So, team, been a licensed realtor since 2006, full time. Joined Keller Williams in 2010. Got my broker's license in 2018, associate broker, and I joined Place in 2021. We have a team of me plus 4 partners, one ops person, and a transaction coordinator.
So you were a little even on the early side when Place launched. You're one of the originals.
I was just, yeah, actually never had met Ben before, never met Chris before. I just one of those guys that just opportunity showed up. Actually met Fred said through just different opportunity investment, and then we were talked with Katie, and then I was in.
Cool. Good choice.
Yeah, thank you. Agreed.
So why don't you talk about the first time around working with us? Why did you originally hire us? What was the intent of hiring us? Why did you give us money back in the day to do video database marketing for you? What was the problem we wanted to solve? You needed solved?
I can tell you, you may not know this, but I know this. I actually came to one of your industry events. You came to Built How in Palm Springs, I think.
I think that was a recruiting talk.
Yeah, and yes, that was. And I was like, that's cool. That's cool. Like just the different ways you did it. And I had money in the budget at that time to say, okay, I know one of my weak points, keeping in touch with my database, that sphere where so much business comes from, because I touched some, but not to the extent of 19 years worth of being in real estate. Or I guess that time was like 17 years. And I evaluated different opportunities and then selected Vyral, got a sponsor for it too, which was so he actually covered a little bit more than 50% of the cost. And it was great. And we did that for a year. And certainly made it easy, leveraged it. So I didn't have to think about it. I just had to get my videos in on time, which is different, sometimes a different struggle. Uh, but did it, and we did see results. And as the market started going down and down and down, here in Southeast Louisiana, we have that extra, awesome thing where kind of a poor state, higher insurance costs, so affordability was really low. Sales were just not where I needed them to be. The sponsor, our agreement was ending. And I figured, okay, a way to save some expenses would be we can do this in-house. I had a good VA, understood how the process worked, and started doing that. And Frank, honest to goodness, man, it wasn't smooth. And what I just decided to do is like, this is going to be so much better if we just go back to Vyral and cut expenses someplace else. And so we rejoined in, God, was it November? Might have been October of this past year, and we were only gone for 60 days. I mean, it wasn't long. And I noticed, I was like, okay. And then, honest to goodness, since we came back, and then the video team that you have working with me now, and then they were working with same people that were working with me like the last 4 months or so.
We upped that in the later quarter of this year considerably.
They're spot on. Like Aaron, Chris, like they're like I noticed the quality of the editing on was like, oh, okay, like it'd be hard to duplicate when we try to do it ourselves. But I've noticed that I'm even getting more results now that we came back. And I've also seen people before. I mean, they mentioned this before, like how, love your videos, Gregg. Or I have one gentleman, Ronnie Fernandez. He's like, I have a special folder on my computer to save your videos. I was like, thanks, Ronnie. So it works. It works, and the reason why I came back is for the leverage. It makes it a lot easier. I don't, again, you do the editing, you do the emailing, you do all that stuff. I just have to put videos, and we were able to save money someplace else in our budget. Actually, a bit more money. So there you go.
Well, that's nice. That's a great testimonial. Greg, thank you.
You're welcome. It's the truth. It ain't. I did not get a script before this or anything. This is just
No, we just showed up
a conversation. Yeah.
about 1 minute in, so let's go. Let's get the story raw and unfiltered. So I really want to interview you now. So you go a whole year kind of following our, let's say, editorial process. All right. And then you decide to take it in-house. Can you speak to some of the challenges of getting it done where you don't have role specialization like we have?
Sure. So with that, I found I liked so some of your topics that you produce. I was like, yeah, I would read them through. I was like, yeah, we want to change that, and so I wound up making up my own topics. And sometimes what I do, like you taught us in the recruiting thing in Palm Springs, is like I'm just going to rip off and duplicate what's popular for somebody else on YouTube. So I do that, and then I just come up with my own things that interest me. It makes it a little easier. But I had my virtual assistant doing it, and she was far away. And then it was just, hey,
Oh, picking your scripts?
not the scripts, but just the editing part, and then coming up with the bulk emailer, and then the email list. And it was just taking a lot of time on her end to do the things, and we were losing time. And I was like, there's a more efficient way to do it. If that makes sense. Does that answer the question?
Sure. Yeah, I guess like for someone watching this,
Yeah.
I'll walk you through the editorial process. So let's say you shoot a video on your own or with us, which is nice. That video needs to go to an editor. They edit it. That's been trained, and they only edit videos. They've been hired as a video editor, and that's their only job. Got it? Then it goes to a managing video editor that's a little more senior to watch it and double check it. It probably has a little higher command of the English language if it's foreign, of reading comprehension, to double check nuances of, let's not use a palm tree for some B-roll where you're at.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Or a New England style house, or spell behavior, BEHAVIOUR. You know, these are the little nuances. So then it passes an editor, and then it goes to a writer to watch it and come up with a headline and a subheadline. And all they ever do is writing just for that. And then it goes to a managing editor to double check it and to approve it for approvals. And then once it goes through the video editing and it goes through the writing process, then it goes to a marketing coordinator that now has a graphic designer reporting to them that just does graphic design to now put it on the blog, put it on social media, email it out, and process it. And just there, short of the senior and junior levels to double check the work where that's built into the process, you know, it's really hard to find one person to do those three things.
Yeah, and do them well. You can find somebody to do it, but will it be done well? That's the thing.
So it's really cool. It's like, so with that, you're back as a client. Thank you. Love it. You know, clearly money's tight, as with anyone with the shifted market, and you decided to put resources into a database touch program following the system that we have. How do you know it's driving revenue? When you get on your place calls and they're like, you know, how do you defend the viral expense that shows revenue?
I don't think I have to defend it, quite frankly. I think it shows up in the people reaching out to me from my sphere, that they're reaching out to me. If I don't get to call them, I'll have past clients. I'm trying to think. There's a couple people that have come up recently that have just been, okay, I haven't in a while. And like, I know there's people watching that are gonna be watching it. Like, I haven't made all my calls. Like, that's just, but because we get business and the market is picking, so we're getting busy. It helps with income. I don't have to always be the one making outbound. It helps with incoming because it's people like video. That's it. Period. People like video.
What are some of your most popular topics that get those responses, you think? Besides, obviously, the general top of mind awareness over time, but is there something specific you send out? It's like, ooh, that's good.
I like doing market updates from my local area. Like we really get data from place on national, but in our old multiple list service, we can dig into what's the showings per listing, what are the sales, and I can compare that to different counties. We call them parishes here, but counties, right? And that always gets a lot of clicks. So if I do those quarterly, I know I'm going to get a good return. Sometimes I did one which people really appreciated, which was like home title theft.
Oh
That's
yeah,
kind of coming out there.
there's
So
like
I
companies that prevent that now. It's like a
right,
thing. Yeah.
it's a but at the same time, there's companies that provide it for free through your tax dollars. And so I did that video, put a lot of the free links to the clerks of court, and they could just register for whatever parish they were in for free to kind of do like a home title lock. So that was a popular.
Where does most of your business come from, Greg?
Breaking it down, I'd say it has some sphere of referral. Really, we
What,
were just
19 years?
19 years. Yeah, I still like the hunt. I still like calling expires and web leads and things like that. There's just a triumph when you do that. Get the win, so to speak.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're a good database guy, you can also call an expired. You're a pretty well-rounded agent to be able to do both, for sure. Yeah, without question. I'm sure even having your video blog and your videos when someone researches you online to see like if you're legit of the authority is probably very helpful with cold lead conversion, I would assume.
Yeah. Well, we have a couple that we're trying to grow our YouTube channels right now too. We have a couple. One is just actually we have subscribers that are subscribing from the viral videos, right? So we send out the viral, uh, and then I make a pitch, not every month, but every so often. Hey, subscribe, like it, and we're getting some subscribers, and we have an unbranded channel where we do walkthrough videos, which we're not allowed to brand that through our multiple list, and that has growing subscribers. I'm creating a third one for like coaching, and
Oh,
actually
good.
faith.
Recruiting.
So it's
Two
I love.
recruits a month is your goal?
What's that?
Two recruits a month?
2 recruits a month through the place metric. I got to make sure that they're aligned with our culture because I'm not keen on. I've done this where I've had the people come in. I was like, yeah, you're not a good fit for who we are or what we're trying to do. So I have to do a better job of the screening on the front end. So if I can get two quality people, awesome. But I'd rather have one quality person per month if it means that they're going to stay longer term and are aligned with our culture.
I'll have to show you a couple place recruiting blogs. Second account just for recruiting. I'll show you, yeah, so for anyone watching, JacquelineSmithLeadership.com. If you're with Place, she's one of the ones that comes top of mind that probably does the best job from the marketing and the results from what she tells us,
Mm-hmm.
and a sponsor paying for it,
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
doing the same exact plan, but for agent attraction, like teaching agents how to succeed.
Yeah. That's what we want to do more of this year.
Yeah, take a look at that.
Again, because again, it brings people in. Same thing with the sphere. Instead of it always having to be outbound, outbound, outbound at my end, if you get strapped with time because I'm coaching existing agents on the team or going on a listing appointment, getting those inbound calls saves so much time. And video, I truly believe, helps with that.
So, what do you like the most about working with us? What's the thing that's like that's the biggest value proposition for me of why I stick around as a customer?
As an unpaid compliment testimonial,
Yeah, I really want to know. As the
yeah,
CEO
no,
asking you, what should my USP be?
yeah. I mean, okay, I like that question. Okay, two answers, but one's a general, like that to create a video platform to do what you're doing, as I've experienced time, and it's hard to lead because you're actually the ultimate editor and things like that. So it's hard to lead. So the leverage is the overarching benefit. And I just say again on a more detailed level, the editing. Like I think the editing really
So you
it
like how we stepped that up, huh?
yeah. I think
Yeah,
I noticed how that's dialed up, and I really appreciate it. And it looks cool.
yeah. We've we use Adobe Premiere. There's a lot of cool tools that's making that easier and more streamlined. And you'll notice a lot more of our hires are international versus in the US. So the workload that's on someone is much less. So we have a lot more time to focus and spend time to get the videos right, as opposed to having to jam more videos into one hire, which speeds things up and gets you creatively exhausted over time. So, great. Gregg, what's the goal for 2025? What are you going to be working on? What's your 2025 going to look like? Last question.
Okay, I don't have my battle board up, but I have it as in terms of my own. Yeah, it's a Brendan Burchard term, but it's like it's an outline of the year broken down by months. And so I know the team goal, personal goal is 60 closings, team goal is 200, and really would love it to get to 15 quality agents, partners on our team.
That is a profitable, high performing team if half that business is from database, Gregg.
Yeah, well, I mean, this year we're closing out. We're at 120 for those, and we've ebbed and flowed in terms of our numbers, as many as 8 or 9 partners
So
down
what do you
at
think? You'll end
4
this
right
year
now.
at 120 sales. What will your GCI be?
It's we just had a nice closing today, so our GCI is going to be just under or right around 900,000.
Okay, wouldn't that be nice if there was 120 sales in Southern California?
Yeah, well, yes, that would be cool, but I mean, even, look, frankly, we've done the numbers. I know you're making a joke, but the numbers we can do another interview on that if you want. Like that's interesting because
The
if we
margin's
just
good. Margin's good. Margin's healthy.
yeah, like our commission is up this year, and I actually think the buyer agency thing helped us. Like we're getting better commissions now, and because a lot of people are freaking out about that, but we're getting better commissions now. So if we just increase our price point by $40,000, $50,000, and we do the same amount of sales next year, just how much money is that, right? I mean, right now we're averaging 3% commission on the listing side uh, from year to date.
Good job, Gregg. It's a good year.
Thanks, man.
Let me ask you, very, very, very difficult market. Give the audience a couple things in your heart of hearts that allowed you to produce like that this year.
Number one, number one is faith in God, because I wouldn't be standing here if that wasn't that. Second, I would also would be place, and that's truly because of the camaraderie that's in there, knowing that there's other agents and operators around the country that okay, I'm going like they're having the same issues, the same struggles as we are, and so you're not alone. And involved in that place model is the personal development aspect with Brendan Burchard, which has just mentally toughened me and made me more self-aware in a lot of ways. So those three things together have made the year what it is. And then you just you know how to sell, you know how to list the home, you know how to market the home. Just do the stuff. It's fun selling property.
Yeah, when it sells and it's moving, yeah, it's very
Yeah,
fun. Yeah.
yeah. We even work with a buyer. Yeah, I had to get back in with working buyers.
Congratulations on the buy side of doing well with that. One more question. Why is that working so well for you? Why are you able to command the fees that you do and the buy side commission hasn't been a business issue for you?
It's just a mindset. It's like if I'm if I'm freaking out about it, like okay, that's a gut check. It's just change, and it weeds out a lot of the weaker agents. So all right, I just got to learn a new script, and then we needed to do it anyway, and then it's a lot easier script on the listing commission. It's only 3% on the list side, and we just have to decide what we want to offer the buyer's agent. And I've had people offer 3%. I've had people offer nothing. So and the buyer agent still asks for the commission to come in the contract anyway. So that doesn't really affect it.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. I remember when that hit earlier this year. It was just like a panic attack. But then as you ask, like week 2, 3, 4, everything's kind of working, a little new system, and it's just been nice and smooth for the ones that are the true experts getting paid for their expertise, and you're one of them.
Yeah. Thanks, brother.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and end the interview there. Everyone, thank you so much for watching. If you want to go just get a copy of the marketing plan that Gregg's following, you can go to our website, getvyral.com, and click marketing plan at the top. And if you want some topics, Gregg picks his own topics. You can certainly do that with us. We got a bunch of wonderful, pre-chosen questions that work very well up on our topics page on our website. You can go check that out. And if you're interested in working together, you want to talk more, there's an option on our website to request a free strategy call.
Yeah, I recommend it.
Thanks, Gregg. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.